A forgotten legend was said to be hidden somewhere deep inside this forest. My flashlight caught something, and I immediately knew this wasn't just another abandoned car. The original engine is still under this hood? This could be the greatest discovery of my life. Let's find out. This wasn't forgotten junk. It was a priceless masterpiece that time had almost erased. The closer I got, the more unbelievable it became. This Bugatti had been sleeping here for decades. If this door still opens, maybe the past is still waiting inside. No one ever touched it. Everything has remained exactly as time left it. Wait a second. The glove box is still locked. Whatever's inside could reveal this Bugatti's forgotten story. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. These weren't ordinary documents. They were the... Hold on. There's something else underneath. Could this actually be the original Bugatti key? If this really is the original key, there's only one thing left to do. Let's see if this legend still has a heartbeat. Leaving it behind isn't an option anymore. The first step is getting it out of this forest safely. Now we just need to winch it onto the trailer. Hopefully the chassis can still handle the weight after all these years. This Bugatti is finally moving again, and today its second life begins. Let's see what's been hiding beneath decades of dirt and neglect. First, we need to lower it safely. One mistake could cause even more damage to this incredibly rare Bugatti. The pressure wash is revealing the truth, but every inch has to be cleaned with extreme care. The restoration officially begins. Everything inside has to come out. The driver's seat is out. Now it's time to remove the passenger seat and fully expose the interior. Next comes the dashboard and steering wheel. Only then can we uncover the true condition of the cabin. Before we restore the body, the doors have to come off. Every part will be rebuilt the right way. Now it's time to remove the hood. Not a single scratch is acceptable on a car this rare. This is the biggest step yet. The original engine has to come out before the real restoration. This is where the real story begins. Every inch of the underbody will reveal decades of hidden damage. Every piece of rusted steel has to be cut away until only solid metal remains. The damaged metal is finally gone. Now it's time to weld in brand new steel, just like it left the factory. Every weld is carefully smoothed until the repair becomes completely invisible. Decades of rust and old paint disappear under the sandblaster, revealing clean, bare steel once again. Bare steel won't stay perfect for long. The first layer of epoxy primer will protect it for years to come. Now it's time to straighten every panel. This is where perfection really begins. The body is finally smooth. Now we can apply high-build primer and prepare it for paint. The primer has fully cured. Every panel is now wet sanded until it's perfectly smooth. One final inspection before paint. Every tiny imperfection has to disappear before we move forward. This is the moment we've been waiting for. The legendary Bugatti is finally getting its original factory color back. The first coat is complete. Now the final base coat brings the color to life with perfect coverage. The color is flawless. Now, the clear coat adds the deep shine and protection every masterpiece deserves.
The clear coat has fully cured. Wet sanding prepares the surface for its final mirror-like finish.
Now comes the most satisfying part of the entire restoration, bringing the paint to a flawless mirror finish. Next up are the original doors. They'll be restored to the exact same standard as the body. Now it's time to restore the front and rear fenders, making every panel look like it just left the Bugatti factory. Only one panel remains. Once the trunk lid is finished, the entire exterior will be ready for reassembly. Every body panel is finally complete. One last inspection, then the reassembly. The rebuild officially begins. First, the restored chassis goes back together exactly as Bugatti engineered it. With the chassis complete, it's time to install the suspension and axles. Soon, this Bugatti will be standing on a step closer to life. The engine is finally home. Next comes the transmission and drivetrain, bringing the entire powertrain back together. This is the moment everything comes together. After decades apart, the body and chassis finally become one again. The Bugatti is finally taking shape again. It all starts with the hood going back into place. Now it's time to install the front fenders. The Bugatti's iconic front end is finally coming back to life. With the rear fenders and trunk lid back in place, the body is finally complete once again. The original doors are finally back where they belong. The legendary silhouette is almost complete. The new glass goes in next. With the windshield and rear window installed, the exterior is finally complete. Now it's time to bring the cabin back to life. The restored dashboard and steering wheel return to their original home. The handcrafted leather seats and premium carpeting finally transform this empty shell back into a luxury grand tourer. The final interior details go into place. Every panel, every trim piece, and every finish looks just as it did in 1938. Now comes the Bugatti's signature face. The grille and headlights bring this legendary masterpiece back to life. Just a few final touches remain. Every piece of chrome is installed, completing one of the most beautiful cars ever built. Everything is finally back together. Now it's time to find out if the electrical system still works after all these years. The moment of truth has arrived. Let's see if this legendary Bugatti will take its first breath after decades of silence. One more try. This could be the moment this Bugatti finally comes back to life. The engine is running beautifully. One final inspection, and this Bugatti will be ready for its very first drive. Everything feels perfect. After decades of silence, this Bugatti is finally moving under its own power again. Now it's time for the real test. Let's see how this legendary Bugatti performs out on the open road. Not long ago, this Bugatti was slowly disappearing into the forest. Today, it's back where it belongs, on the open. A forgotten legend has been brought back to life. Thanks for being part of this incredible journey. See you in the next restoration.